So lots of people go through their lives with their own personal rules and they kind of make up this story for themselves that kind of limits them from taking chances. Like, for instance, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'd never be able to do that. And how does this work change your personal story and how does it change the way that you see yourself and the world around you?
So you're asking about me, like how has that
Yeah, or
made
like
an
what have you
impact?
seen or just like how do you fix that?
So your story is consistent with how you see the world, right?
Mm.
And as you change, what did Wayne Dyer say? As you change the way you view the world you view changes. So that subconscious, how we experience the world, has a lot to do with our body. Our body is our reality filter. And when someone comes into the office and I feel their body top to bottom, I feel their spine, I feel their structure, that tells me what subconscious meaning they're giving to life's events. And it makes sense if you see life a certain way, if you see it a certain way, your emotion is going to be a certain way. So I've shared with people, I don't tell people how to see it. Instead, I free them up from the perspective that they're stuck in, if that makes sense. And as I change or as I free up their body from being stuck in a pattern of perception, they now can see other options that weren't seemingly available before because they weren't able to see that perspective. So it's about freeing people up so that they could do something different. Very similar to someone who does visualizations and affirmations. I had someone come in and said, "Oh, I'm doing these visualizations, I'm doing these affirmations, and I've been frustrated because I'm not really seeing the change." And I said, "Well, yeah, because your body's stuck in a fear and overwhelm pattern and I'm not enough pattern. So you're doing all these the lip service for I'm this, I'm that, I'm amazing, I'm a king, I show up, I'm successful. But your subconscious is saying you're a loser, you have no self worth, you have no self value. So at that point, the affirmations are rhetoric.
Mm.
So if we could free the person up physically of that self talk, of that stuckness in that experience and belief that's who they are, if we can create more flexibility there, then the visualizations and affirmations are amazingly effective in a shockingly short amount of time.
Mm. Um, that's interesting. Uh, Should you tell the story about the guy who stopped seeing you
Which
because
one?
he got money from the government?
Oh, talking about our identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was, and I've seen this before in different ways, but this is a good way to describe it or summarize it. I had a client come in who was in 9/11. He wasn't in the building, but he was there and saw the whole thing um, as I believe he was an EMT and experienced a horrific thing. As a 9/11 was, it was a while ago now. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
many, many years later. So now he's disabled, meaning he doesn't work. He gets a check from the government and he's able to live a good life and there's a lot of freedom there, all on the government's dole. So I get there's a perspective, right? There's a multitude of different perspectives. There's a perspective that says, I witnessed a horrific thing and I'm entitled to compensation for that. I've been wronged. That's a perspective. But in a world of unlimited possibilities, there's other perspectives because he's holding himself back. He's not moving forward. He's getting his part of his identity of who he is I'm a victim of 9/11. He gets his needs met through that identity. So it's a new pattern, or it's an anchored pattern of perception and behavior for him. But he's ripping himself off in life. Because as long as you see yourself as a victim, you take responsibility for nothing and you grow little to nothing. So he's actually stuck in life because of his identity. He's not a person who is victimized from a perspective. He's someone who had this experience. And if he can get to the other side of the victimhood and see how actually experiencing such a horrific thing is an opportunity to see how the world needs to be more peaceful. The world needs to be more compassionate. we need to love each other more and serve each other more, then he could actually take a horrific thing and transform that into that tremendous emotion into an opportunity to serve at an even higher level.
Mm.
But so you're actually taking a horrific thing and making it
Something way better.
making it, hey, if you're going to experience something horrific, at least get something out of it.
Mhm.
I've heard the story that there was a farmer had his nephew come live with him during the summer, and there was a huge head-high pile of manure next to the barn. So the kid took a pumpkin seed, and just stuck it right into the pile of manure.
Mm.
Well, he ended up taking that pumpkin to the pumpkin contest, and it was this massive, like 200 or 300 pound, whatever it was, pumpkin. You see the analogy? And the biggest pile of crap is the richness of the soil to grow amazing things, more than you could have otherwise. Sometimes in the most horrific traumas is the fuel to serve on a level that you never could have or never would have had you not had that horrible experience.
It's like seeing all these like people be in shootings or like traumatic events and then like become activists and like speak up about it.
Perfect. So they took a horrific thing and they turned it into a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to experience a horrific thing, well, the purpose of that, in my opinion, was to serve at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're playing victim, I'm not saying that they weren't victimized. I'm just saying staying in the victimhood does not give you the fuel or the perspective that you need to serve.
Progress.
And my hallucination is if you experience some horrific things, it's because life doesn't happen to you, it's happening for you. Life wants you to take that horrific thing and contribute more and serve more. That feels right to me, that makes sense to me. Otherwise, what's the point of it all?